President of Operations, Chris Wisniewski. Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good
how are
morning.
you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad I made it before the snow.
Heck yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I usually see Chris at Consumers Energy during the big robotics extravaganza. Are you doing that this year?
Yes, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure. Next Friday. We'll see you there, right?
Yeah.
Robotics is just like taking over. In Michigan, you guys are at the forefront of sponsoring a lot of things. Why is it so important to connect with these robotics students and then provide resources for these big competitions?
Well, I'll share a little bit. So I'm actually also the executive sponsor of our Women in Energy organization at Consumers Energy, and it is one of our top initiatives for our, we call it the business employee resource group. So fostering STEM and inclusion in STEM and broadening the culture for STEM is super important, and here's why. So we look at those bright minds across Michigan. It starts with those students. And so seeing and creating that talent pipeline connection in the first robotics events is a big deal for us. We need these minds to help join the mission as we change the energy future. We got a lot going on in the future of energy.
These kids are so talented, and when you're at a robotics competition, it almost shocks you at how intense it is. The crowd is going wild at all times, and it really promotes a lot of teamwork. So it's so much fun to see, and kids are being exposed at younger ages, so it's really taken off.
Yeah, the energy, oh my gosh, the energy in these events. It just hits you right as you walk in. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. The kids are so excited coming to Consumers Energy's headquarters.
Oh yeah.
It's obviously it's a beautiful building and a landmark, and for the first time these kids are in the building, and that's exciting for them too.
Yes, yes. So next Friday, the 23rd, is when we have our expo at Consumers Energy right down the street here at One Energy Plaza, 10 to 2. So bring your kids, bring your students, bring your family and friends. It'll be side by side. So we'll have students there, showing off their wares and their robots and everything they have going, as well as Consumers Energy. So we'll have a lot of our technology going on too.
How impressed are you and your staff with some of these students that we see?
Look, when I'm trying to remember, I was in Spring Arbor for one of the competitions there, and I love data and analytics. And what I saw, those kids, they were on their tablets doing a lot of data gathering and using the same products we use, like Tableau at the time, and they were creating visual management to be able to look at their data. It is fantastic. And the thing I love most, though, is the problem solving. So just the creativeness of how the kids lean into improving and iterating and learning from each other. I mean, that is a fantastic culture they create.
One thing I was impressed with, to see Garrick Rochow, your CEO, actually talking to kids as a recruiter. He was encouraging these students to consider planning to come to Consumers when they get done with school.
For sure. You know, he's the best at it, but we all keep our eyes on that talent that we're meeting in these competitions and in the expo. So we're watching, honestly, the talent pipeline is so critical, and finding the students that have an interest in technology, in engineering, in math. Those are the students we need to change the energy future. So we keep our eye on them, you better believe it.
Women in the workforce is now at 47%.
Yeah.
That's the highest ever.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I have to say, so the research also shows for STEM careers, it's definitely even a little bit higher than that. So women in STEM careers and programs in college is up over 50%. However, where we have work to do is in the technology and engineering. So those, so sciences pull a lot of women in their programs. The technology and engineering is where we have to connect earlier, and that's another reason to keep our eyes on the students as they come in.
How about the access these kids have now in today's age compared to when we were growing up?
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
this was just a robotics was just a word, right? There were no classes. My daughter's in 7th grade now. Everyone in 7th grade takes robotics for a semester. It's really cool to see.
It is fantastic, the additional programs.
Yeah.
Students have access to way more. And I love the idea that you said back when we were growing up. I might have a couple decades on you.
Oh, no. I might be older than I look.
But for sure, there's lots and lots of opportunities. So get into it, right? Like, put everything out there.
We had shop class when I was in 7th grade, and we made ashtrays out of tin.
Yeah, you made ashtrays out of tin.
All right, Bert.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
We have come a long way. Shop class is still a big. I live up in the Brighton area in Michigan, and Heartland schools are where my kids go. Shop is still a very big draw for the kids there too. Although not ashtrays. I've heard they bring in actually, cars and kind of work.
There's been some technology advancements since you were in shop, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a while. But the reality is, this is an important way for a company and other companies to nurture the future talent, because we have to home grow it, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We love kids and students who love Michigan just as much as we do, and they want to stay in our communities and be a part of what we have to offer with the community. So love that. So we have a few events we're sponsoring. We have next week Friday is the expo right down the street, and then we have Kettering, where we have a competition, Michigan State competition coming up also next weekend. Wow. That's a big one. And then first week of March, we get back with Columbia Central in Brooklyn, where we'll be doing the district championships, and then of course up Saginaw Valley for state championships the first week in April.
Yeah, it should be a great time, and I would encourage anyone, if you can, make the expo, and for sure try and check out one of the local events with the state competition, one of the district competitions at Columbia Central. Should be a good time. So. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. See you next Friday.
Yes, we'll see you next Friday. From Consumers Energy, the Vice President of Operations, Chris Wisniewski. More of the show right after this.